Hi, I'm Morgan Wood. Today I'm going to give you a tutorial on one of my classic looks featuring this biodegradable glitter. I'm going to show you how I transform from this to this. Are you ready? Okay, so I've gone ahead and blocked my brows and covered up my beard color just to save time, and because I'm going to have separate videos on how to do those things. And so now I'm going to start with foundation. So using a TV paint stick in a pretty neutral color for my skin, I'm just going to swipe it all over my face, just covering up basically everything. I'm not going to put too much under my eyes because I'm going to use a different color there. I don't want to have too many unnecessary layers of foundation. I do want to hit the side of my nose though. So now that's on and I look totally crazy. I'm going to take my slightly wet sponge and just blend it all out. I mean, this is called foundation for a reason. We're laying the foundation for everything else to come. So we want a nice, smooth, even coverage. So once that's blended out pretty much, we're going to take another lighter TV paint stick. I use one that's 4 tones lighter than my base color. And I'm going to swipe that under the eye, up the bridge of the nose and between the eyes, upper lip, chin. I'm taking a different sponge. I'm going to blend that all out. I just use a smaller sponge for this because the areas I'm covering are much smaller. And as I'm doing it, I'm connecting this upper lip highlight to the under eye to create this triangle shape. Once those surfaces of the highlight color are pretty well blended, I'm going to take my bigger sponge, the one I use for the base color, and use that to just go over the edges where the two colors meet, create a more seamless effect. Then with a much darker paint stick, again I use one that's 4 tones darker than my base color, I'm going to carve out some contour. I'm going to start with the cheek. For this look I'm going to do a really high contour, so I'm actually going to do it right on my cheekbone. Usually I would do it under the cheekbone. Try and match it on the other side. Using a different sponge again, I'm going to blend it from the bottom up. And using the sponge I used for the highlight color, I'm going to soften the edge between the two. Continuing with that contour color, I'm going to carve out the jaw. I'm going to round the edges of my jawline to soften it. Go under the chin and reduce my forehead by contouring an arc from one temple across to the other. Ooh! And using that same contour sponge, blend it all out. I'm not going to worry about this empty part of my face because the wig is going to come to create a new hairline that's closer to the contour. Join the cheek and forehead contour. Blend out this jaw. Soften this line just here. Now using a sharply angled brush, I'm going to use that same contour color to contour my nose and carve out a new crease. And while I'm doing this, I'm also going to map out the shape of the wing. So going from the corner of the eye, quite a steep angle up to the temple, and then connect the crease with the wing. Now at this point it doesn't matter so much if that shape is not perfectly symmetrical, it's just to give an outline. But now I'm going to use this same brush and just feather out this contour on the nose. I'm avoiding bringing the contour color too much down on the nose because that will actually make my nose look wider, which is not what I'm going for. Using my highlighter sponge, it's going to soften the contour from the inside. We're pretty much done with foundation, so it's time to set it with powder. Beep, 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 beep. And I'm going to put extra powder here around my neck because I really want to avoid the makeup coming off on my clothes when I get dressed. Brushing off the excess. Make little circles if you like. I mean, I don't know. Alright, let's get started on this eye makeup. Now, I consider this to be a pretty iconic look of mine, and it's all about the blue and the pink and the glitter. So we're going to start with this pink eyeshadow. I'm putting it on this fluffy roundish brush, really saturating it on there. And I'm going to start up here in the corner of where I do this eye shape and just bring it in to the middle. And the reason I start with the eyeshadow is because I can then tidy up any of the lines later once I've got it on. Do the same on the other side. Ooh. Yes. Once I've got that more or less even, I'm going to take another brush and load it up with this blue. Oh yeah. Oh! And here I'm going to bring it in from the middle. And I'm going to do the same with the blue down here on the underside of this wing. Right down to the corner of the eye. I almost forgot to put in my baking powder, mostly because I'm using a lot of eyeshadow here, so I don't want to ruin the foundation if it falls down. And while I'm doing that, I'll just bake in the highlights. I'm going to go back in with my pink, using this same brush, but I'm going to pinch it so that it's a bit narrower. I mean, I could just use another brush, but I'm lazy. And just using what's left on my pink brush, I'm just going to blend the edges of the two colors together. And the same with my blue brush. Just bring up any remaining product from the brush into the parts where the two colors meet. So that might seem like a lot of color, but we're going to add a lot of white and more neutral colors as well. I mean, anyway, even if it is too much color, this is drag. Deal with it. So I'm now going to go in with this white cream and a flat brush. And this is where I can tidy up that line and make the eye shape symmetrical. Pray for me. The aim here is to fill in this whole area between the bottom of the eyeshadow and the lid. And the other side. Check if that's symmetrical. Ooh. You already see how much bigger this makes the eyes look. Now with the same brush, I'm going to use this kind of shimmery cream. It's much more liquid than the white stuff that I was using. And this is going to go on the actual lid. Then I'm going to go back with my pink on the same brush, and I'll bring this down the nose just a little bit. And I'm also going to hit the end of the nose with this same pink. And now for the really fun part. This is when we get to use the glitter that I mentioned earlier. So to make it stick, I'm going to use just a regular lip balm, the same I use on my lips, with this small brush. You could use glue, but the disadvantage is that dries your skin and it doesn't feel nice. So I'm going to cover this area with the lip balm where I previously put the white. because that white cream is now dry, nothing's going to stick to it. This is going to create a base for the glitter to stick to on the eyelid. I'm just going to pour a bit of the glitter out into the lid and getting it on the brush. Press it gently onto the lid. So this glitter is nice that it has a mixture of small and big pieces, and it's entirely biodegradable. And I'm not going to try and put it on my actual eyelid. Once I have the lashes, you're not really going to see my real crease. Then I'm going to use the back end of the brush to press gently. Oh, do you see that? Now the other eye. Oh, fashion headache. Okay, now I'm going to use a liquid liner and line the top of my eye and go out to follow this line. Oh, I hate doing this. Honestly, I'm not going to worry about that being too perfect because between the lash and the glitter, you're not really going to see the liner anyway. But I am going to go and line the upper waterline and the lower waterline. So I'm going to go back and use my blue color from the eyeshadow on a shorter, stubbier brush. And I'm just going to use that to bring that blue into the nose contour just a little bit. And to tidy up underneath the eyes, I'm going to use some black on the same brush. So it's carrying a bit of the blue too, and I'm just going to smoke out the bottom of the eye. I'm back with my blue brush from earlier, just intensify that blue on the outer corner a little and blend it into that black. It's now time to brush away this bake. And to intensify these contours a little, I'm actually going to take the same brush and shadow that I used for the pink on my eyes and use that in the corner of this contour. Then with a slightly darker colour on a bigger brush, just tap some onto the edge and go over it. And back in with my blue, just a tiny bit of that, just on top. And same under here. Lightly outlining this jaw contour with the pink, which softens it but also brings a bit of colour into the face. Right, now it's time for a bit of highlight. I'm going to use this pinkest colour and hit the top of the cheek with it. The same stuff above the lip, on the chin, and the bridge of the nose, which I'm going to do with my finger. And because this look is all about the glitter, I'm going to take a bit more of the glitter and just tap it on top. Not so much of it is going to stay, because I haven't put any lip balm or something for it to stick to. But I just want a little hint of the glitter in these highlight spots. Now it's time to do the lips. I always start by moisturizing my lips, because for one thing, it feels good, and another, it helps the lips to take the lipstick and to hold it. So because the rest of the look is pretty intense with a lot of colour, I'm going to use a kind of subtle lip colour, this sort of purple, and it's also a kind of midpoint between the blue and the pink. So I'll start by overdrawing the shape that I want and fill it in. Then with my short angled brush, I'm going to take my highlight foundation colour to outline the lips and correct the shape and any mistakes I've made. And just a little more of that highlight colour in the centre of the lip. And because why not, just dab of the remaining glitter. Now it's time for lashes. Do a bit of glue on the hand, drag the lash line through the glue, wait for the glue to almost dry. Okay, looking down, bringing the lash from above. Ah, there's a spider on my face. And just in case there wasn't enough sparkle on my face, I'm going to put these crystals So that's the makeup done for my pink, blue and glittery look. So I'm going to throw on a wig and an outfit and show you the full look. So this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed watching me put this together for you. Please leave any comments below and please share the video, subscribe, and don't forget you can also follow me on Instagram, Morgan Wood Callisto, MorganWoodCallisto.